we're live. Welcome back, nerds and turds, to another live stream repair. We've got 1, 2, 3.5 HomePods here today. They need to get fixed up. Let's see. I did a couple of test streams earlier and was not having any issues with the stream or the network, and now I suddenly am. So give me 1 sec. Let me restart OBS. Maybe that'll help things. Okay. Keeping an eye on that bitrate. It's looking okay for now. It's looking okay still. I'm going to assume that we are in the clear, and if not, then we are just going to push through. So, as I was saying, we've got 3.5 HomePods here that need to get fixed up. Let's get the text on the screen up there. So, first up, we've got Justin's with no bass. So we'll start things off with a fairly interesting one. Next, we'll take a look at Kashmiri, I believe that's how you would say it, with no power. And then Cherian with also no power. And then we're going to take another look at Jeff's. They sent their amp in for no power. We got it fixed up, and it looks like that they had some other damage in the shell, so they dropped off all of the parts, and we're just going to replace everything that's broken in there and get it back together and working again. So that's what we've got here and now. Let's open up the first one from Justin for no bass. Okay, so as always, we're going to go and test the HomePod here. We want to double check the symptoms and make sure that before we go into this, we know exactly what it is we're going into it for. We don't want to think we're fixing one thing when in reality something else may be going on. So let's plug it into power, and it's now turning on, so we'll wait for it to finish booting up. Good is that stream over there? It looks okay. Okay, so it's finished booting up.
I'm having trouble connecting.
Ooh, yep, that sounds quite like a tin can there. So, let's crack this open. See what's going on with that bass. Is it a blown bass speaker? Or is it a short on the amp? Or do we have a blown amp chip? Or do we have another mysterious no bass issue that we haven't yet figured out? Which there seem to be plenty enough of. I've got quite the stack of boards with various issues I haven't figured out yet that I just haven't had the time to deal with. Wow, that's crazy. So the side of my spudger here that rubs against the HomePod as I open these up, it's like noticeably rounded off compared to the other side of this from how much we've used it. Crazy. Okay. let's get that hard drive disk out of there. Okay. Where's my screwdriver? Get off my finger, you little screw. Is that vaccine starting to kick in? Okay, this button is bothering me and nobody is currently watching, so I'm going to go ahead and fix this really quick. I accidentally cracked well, I don't even know how it happened. I was just using it and it fell apart in my thumb, but the button on this fell apart and I glued it back together temporarily, so I want to swap it. The reason why I don't just use this one, I'll show you. It's quite a particular reason, but if you listen to this one and then listen to this one, this one sounds a little better. Very minor difference, but enough to make me want to use this one over this one. There goes the network. That's unfortunate. Okay, good. We didn't break anything. That was kind of nerve-wracking. Yeah, and there it goes again, just crumbling to pieces. Damn. I'll have to email them and see if they can send me a replacement button or something. Alright, that will hold us over. Where did that button go? Oh no. Oh no, that's my only button. That's not in a million pieces. There it is. There we go. Oh, that is so much better. Yeah. Back in business. Oh, that's a little loose. We'll just tighten that back up. Very nice. I wonder if somebody's messing with me. Somebody has to be messing with me because I did multiple test streams right before this one and last night, and they went flawlessly. And here we are, live with y'all, and we are dropping 15% of our packets. Coincidence? I think not. I don't want Comcast to come to my house. I just want my fiber already. Yeah, it's been like a month since I signed up for it, and they still haven't given me my fiber. Nice. That didn't put up much of a fight. I won't complain about that. Oh. All right. What's going on inside this pod? The base speaker smells fine, it looks fine, and it feels fine, so that is probably not the problem. We shall continue digging. Wow. Stubborn are we? Where's my screwdriver? There it is. That's what I get for not putting it back. Here we have them. Let me play on the computer for a second here, and then we'll fix this up. I'm just trying to figure out why my network sucks. Why do I have no internet? Okay, so I've got two different pings going on right now. I've got one ping, well, both of them are pinging YouTube. One of them is from my streaming PC here, and the other one is directly from the router. So we'll see. I've got like 170 milliseconds average ping to YouTube. I don't know how normal that is. My ping to Google. My ping to Google is 11. 10 to 13 milliseconds. We may as well play around here for a minute and try to figure this out since no one's watching right now. Why is this suddenly so crap? How's that gonna work? Nope, didn't make a difference. There goes all our packets. Let's try this Twitch test thing. I probably shouldn't try this now. Fuck it, we're gonna try it now. Download. Give me that Twitch test.zip. Okay, I'm gonna kill the stream for about 10-15 seconds here while I run this quick test. I'll be right back. Okay, so I ran this Twitch bandwidth test tool, and at first it was getting like 20,000 kilobytes a second, but then it fell down to 5,000. And just so you know, I pay for 1,200 down and like 30 up. I usually speed test 800 down and 40 up. So this is a pretty suboptimal result. I've got 19 milliseconds for the RTT and the quality is 77, so that's not very good. Unfortunately, that tells me enough, which is I'm going to have to call Comcast and have them send somebody. Oh boy. Alright, Well, we will continue our repair stream today as usual. Hopefully we don't annoy too many people with our subpar internet connection. But let's jump right on into this no bass amp here. Here's our bass chip. This is what powers the subwoofer, and it looks okay. This is the DAC. That's what converts the digital audio signal to analog before it gets sent to the amp. And everything looks alright. Usually with these no bass amps, if there's nothing obvious, quite often we see this capacitor shorting out. And I cannot find a replacement for this. I think it's like size 0805, 27 microfarads, and I cannot find the combination of that anywhere. So if you can find it, please let me know. I would love to purchase replacements so I don't have to keep taking it from parts boards. But let's just go ahead and cross our fingers here and hope that this is a pretty straightforward one. No, it's not. Damn. So this one's gonna need a new amplifier, cause who knows what could be wrong with it. It could be the chip here. It could be the DAC. It could be a number of things, and yeah, I just don't feel like playing with all that right now. Well, let's see, 423, 424. It's actually kind of low. I wonder if that's still the problem. I get so many different readings from these, it's so confusing. So we should usually see around 1100. $1,300, no bass, 1,200, and is this one gonna give me 1,200 now? No, it's still 400. Oh yes, so I actually have it also on my website under common issues. Excuse me. Let me see here. No bass, short near amp IC. I'm gonna just copy this from my website. Yeah, good luck, cause I've spent a few hours on Mouser and DigiKey, and they just don't have the right one. Now you got something that I've been thinking about is the fact that I'm only able to measure used ones, so I don't know how far off the fresh factory value that is. If it's actually 27 or with a 20% tolerance, maybe these are 30 microfarad capacitors, and that it's within that 20% tolerance. So Nonetheless, I have not been able to find anything at or near 27 microfarads in that size. So, I think we need another amp, yeah? My gosh. I've got all these amps without bass that I need to figure out. I'm tempted to replace this based on that reading that I get. It's just a lot lower than what I'm seeing on a lot of these other ones. So we're gonna try that. Let's just go ahead and try it, yeah? Maybe it's still bad even if it's not completely shorted yet. Be free. Be free. Alright, let's grab one from one of our parts boards here. There we go. So I'm curious. That reads 600. And this one doesn't actually read anything. What capacitance is it measuring? Oh, wow. So check this out. So this good capacitor seems to be at around 22 microfarads. This one's just off the charts. So this might be it. Even if it's not shorted, that little cap could potentially still be bad. And it appears that you can use your diode test mode on your meter to confirm that. Oh, poor baby. So here's another one. We're going to go ahead and take the cap off there as well and measure it so we can get a bigger sample size here. This one again, no resistance measured. That's what we saw with the other good one. This one's 24 microfarads. So, interesting results. I think we're going to go ahead and discard this original cap and try one of these other ones on this amp. See if maybe that's all there is to it. Fingers crossed. Don't you start dancing. Nah. Oh, I gotta sneeze. You ever have those life-threatening sneezes while you're going down the highway? Those are great.
Do you have a pacifier?
Yeah, it's on the blanket back there. Be careful. I can grab it in a sec.
Should just be something.
Why does that take so much heat? Goodness. There we go. Okay, did that fix it? I am honestly feeling kind of optimistic about that. Interesting results. Hopefully, we've cracked another potential cause for no bass, which is technically we knew all along, but up to this point we thought that it was good up until it shows as shorted, where in fact here it was simply far less resistance than they normally are. Close to being short, but not close enough to set our meter off. Well, did we fix it? All right, here we go. That was it. We got our bass back. Oh my god. And with only 6 millivolts of offset. Damn. Well, that was too easy. I'm going to have to update the website. Again. All right. Well, I'm just glad I didn't have to replace the whole amp and put it in the pile of shit I need to fix later, which basically means never. But, I mean, with this, then now I'm going to have to take a second look at all of those, because I always thought that that was good until it showed shorted, where in fact we're seeing they start to lose their resistance before they go bad. And of course, you can't test their capacitance reliably while they're in the circuit, so you want to pull it out and check it. But once I pulled it off and checked it, it had no capacitance. It wasn't reading on the meter. It's gotta be between 22 to 27 microfarads probably. And I'm willing to anywhere between the 22 and 30 microfarad range. I'm willing to buy a couple of them and try them out and see which ones work, and potentially risk a few HomePod parts, but in the name of science, yeah. In the name of repair. Some sacrifices, have to be made. Before we put this back together, I want to replace that shocky barrier diode. That's that pesky little part that loves to fail and cause pods, or prevent pods from powering on. If we look right here, it says it's got a date code of 1736K, which is earlier than the diodes that we suspect are part of that bad batch. But we don't know for sure, so we replace this diode every time a HomePod comes in, regardless of the issue it comes in for. So let's get that replaced, and then we can put this thing back together. Oh man, I am just stoked that we figured that out. Is that a part we're going to be replacing regularly? I'm going to wait for the network to stabilize before I answer. Okay, looks okay for now. So is that a part that that capacitor that failed and caused no base? They're asking, is that a part that we are going to replace regularly? No. And that is because, well, unless I go through all these parts boards that I have and repairs that I've been putting off, unless I go through all of them and I find more of them like this, I just don't see this cap failing that often to really justify replacing it and adding it to the list of things that just get replaced every time. However, I have been considering offering like a specific tier of the service where regardless of what's wrong with it, you can just send it in. We'll replace the diode, we'll replace the filtering caps, and well, heck, we'll add this little cap here to the list too. And then this resistor over here as well. We see this blow up with those filtering caps. So maybe we'll offer like a mail-in pure refurbishing service, or like a service. Like send your car in for a service, send your HomePod in for a service. It won't be cheaper than a repair. It'll probably be the same or a little more, but with that, you'll get a warranty. I'll give you like a 6-month shipping covered warranty if any of those parts go wrong again. And then up to a year, if you cover shipping, I'll cover the repairs still. So I'll try to come up with a good price for that. But I think it's a pretty cool little idea. Gives people a little more sense of security and knowing that they can use these speakers the way that they want without worrying about breaking it or it failing over time. That's one of the big reasons why I got into these HomePod repairs. Was I personally loved these things so much, and I wanted to be able to preserve the experience that I get from them for as long as possible, at least until something else comes out. And even then, I've got so many of them at this point that they're too good to like just give up unless I don't know. Enough rambling. Let's do some fixing. We're gonna be here all night if we keep talking. But I get really talky when we solve a tough problem. What percent of failure on the spare boards would you have to see to say always replace this? I'm going to say more than 1 out of every 10. If I see more than 1 out of every 10 with this issue, then I'm going to just preemptively replace this every time. I will probably end up raising the repair cost in that case, and probably just replace the filters as well, just to add the little cherry on top. They don't really fail that off. The filters don't really fail that often. But again, it would add value to the repair that and what people are already sending it in for, prevent potential failures and back and forth in the future for a few bucks in parts and a few more minutes of my time. It's worth it. And so long as Apple continues to support these via software, so long as you can still use them, I will be offering repairs for them. Or until I die, whichever comes first. I wonder how much of this engineering failure stuff is because the power cleaning systems are like always within such tight tolerance. That is a good thought. I did think myself something along those lines, like maybe like I was wondering maybe like what kind of actual QA process did they put these through? How long did they test them for before releasing them? And like you said, what kind of conditions did they test these in? Thing is, with in regards to many of the parts that we see fail, it's on the amp, which is pretty far past a lot of the power stuff. So I would expect to see a lot of problems if it's people's power with the power supply. But we essentially never see problems with power supplies. It's always from the amp or the logic board in some cases, but 90% of the problems come from the amp. I'm not an electrical engineer though, so my opinion isn't really qualified. There's probably plenty of valid reasons that... Oh, look at that. I'm seeing timeouts. Just straight up timeouts. Oh no. Woo! Spicy. Heat plus time plus not building in enough tolerances from the outset of the designs. I think it is reasonable to guess that, and this is probably the case with a lot of electronics that get released, especially as they start cramming more and more functionality and hardware into smaller and smaller places. That introduces more things to fail. So I think, and then plus the push for, companies to like release stuff like sooner and faster, like people want new stuff now. I think it cuts into the time that companies can test a product. But you also got to ask, like, how long is long enough for them to test it? Because I don't believe they were seeing enough no power issues like with this diode failing. I don't think they saw that enough early on to think, let alone they probably didn't even see it at all during QA before releasing it, to think that it would have been a widespread problem. But let alone here we are, as soon as a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, we're going on like 4 or 5 years now at this point, but still, nonetheless, you got to ask yourself, well, like, what's a reasonable amount of time for a company to test hardware before approving it and before it goes obsolete? So there's a lot of things to think about instead of just immediately pointing the finger at Apple and their lack of QA. Which, don't get me wrong, they definitely have room for improvement, and we have seen that plenty of times here during the live stream. But there are still things that can potentially be out of their control. At the end of the day, what matters though is that they take responsibility and own up to these problems, and that's really why a lot of people me too, why we, that's a reason why we hate them. I don't not like them at the same time. I love using their shit, but a big reason why I and many people hate them is they create problems and then ignore them and don't acknowledge them or blame you for them. It's very rare for them to acknowledge an actual fault of their own. So I just want to make sure this still powers on. Yes, it does. We've got a new diode on there. This amp is ready to go back together as part of this pod. And hopefully it will have its bass back. According to our test bench here, it does. So we'll see. Very interesting results, if this is true. I mean, how could it not be true? I watched myself do it. I saw it. That's the only thing we replaced and it worked. I'm interested. See Apple keyboards circa 2016 to 2020. Yeah. Those were her just fuck. Those were horrible. And then you also have to consider how many, honestly, how many other HomePod owners are there out there? And are there enough of them out there for Apple to really give a shit about any problems that they have with them, widespread or not? I've been told by the Tier 2 support techs, as I've continued to work with them and wait for a solution to the crackling audio that I hear as a result of some DRAM or software issue. But anyways, I've been told by and reassured by the Tier 2 support tech that HomePods will be supported for years to come, and they are always very concerned about making sure that the experience is top-notch and that it doesn't affect especially a widespread amount of users, because they have large enterprise customers that have dozens, if not hundreds of these in deployments, and they don't want to piss them off, let alone the small rest of the mob that owns these things. But, support can say all they want. The proof is in the pudding, and I got no pudding. Where's my pudding, Apple? Come on. I hate this screw the most. This is my least favorite screw in the entire HomePod. I'm going to put a new poll in the chat. This is going to be a fun one. Here you guys go. This is what I want to know from you guys. Start a poll. 4K 30 or 1080p 60. Gimme pixels. Gimme frames. Fire away, folks. Let me know. What do you prefer? 4K 30 frames a second or 1080p 60 frames a second? Cause I don't know, maybe I'm doing all this extra work to the PC doing 4K when I don't really need it. Oh yeah, I'm talking about the stream. I figured 4K would be better as far as, because then you can see the details of the board and what I'm working on better. Like, frame rate doesn't matter as much for that stuff. But maybe my opinion is misguided. Maybe one day we'll upgrade to a 4K 60 capable camera and a 4K 60 capture card. That would be really nice. Ooh, that would be really nice. We'll see how far this goes. It's not the equipment, it's the creator. Listen, the 4K 60 internet has been on order for a month now. I'm sure, no, I can't say that. I was going to say by the time I get a 4K 60 capable setup, the internet would be installed and ready by then, but I cannot say that. Because I have no idea when they're going to give me that fiber internet. It could not come at a better time too, man. Like, the past week, Comcast has just been absolutely trashing my network. And if I had it when I had them scheduled for the first, second, third, or fourth install, then we would not be here whining about it. I feel bad for whining about it too, because I'm sure people don't want to hear it. But it makes what little hair I have left fall out from how just want to scream. I just want to fix the stuff and not worry about my frickin' any of this other crap. What's it got? Oh, come on now. Am I gonna have to take you apart now? Did I forget something? Oy. Oy, oy, oy. Oh, well, let's look at the power draw really quick and take a guess. Uh-huh. It's drawing 15 watts. That is not good. What is going on? Damn, and it was working too. Here we go. At least it'll be easier getting into it the second time, yeah? $15 watts of power draw. What did we goof up? Subwoofer still is fine. Ooh, damn. That's smelly. What happened? No. Everything is connected fine. How and what happened? It smells horrible in there. I'm hoping the power supply just died. That would be great, because then we just... I'm swimming in power supplies. I would not mind that. But I'm a little nervous. I have no idea what this is. The smell is not coming from the power supply. F in the chat. That's crazy, because we fixed the base, we tested that we had base, we replaced the diode, we tested that it powered on after replacing the diode, and then we put it together. We didn't miss anything, we didn't have anything half plugged in or loose. Nothing's floating around in here. And it killed itself. Why would you do this? That's what I'm saying. It was good on the bench. We didn't put it together wrong. I'm not finding any reason for this to have nuked itself. I don't even know what nuked itself. Nothing in there. What the? No, there's nothing. Nothing's touching nothing that shouldn't be touching something. Oh, I think I smell it now. This is sketchy. Oh. I found it. I found it. I don't know why. I do not know why. But that is the amp for one of the tweeters. Was one of the tweeters bad? I am intrigued. Okay, here's what I want to do. We're going to put this together on the bench. Do we use this power supply? Do we even... I don't know. I don't know if it's the power supply or not. It'd be weird that it... It would be weird. It would be weird, man. Let's just pop it back together on the bench. Did not expect this one to take this long. Oh, and I guess I should just make sure that there's nothing shorted over there too real quick. It'll be easy enough just to poke around real fast. Yeah. There is something shorted out over here. This whole area around the tweeter is like unhappy about being alive. Oh man, where do we even start? Do we turn it on and see where the heat's coming from? Or do we just start pulling parts off of it? I want to see something warm up. I want to see when it gets hot. Oh, is my thermal camera charged? Fuck, no it's not. That'll take a minute to boot up. I'm gonna use my bricked logic board for this because I do not want to break any good boards. Uh-huh. Is this on yet? No, it's charging. I gotta turn it on now. Bullocks. Come on. Come on. I'm gonna put my glasses on too in case something blows up. Hello, focus. There we go. Is the phone on? The phone is on. You can do it. Install now to control when your device updates. Come on. Oh, good grief. What the hell? What is wrong with you? There we had it. Come on. The downside of the thermal camera being a smartphone, it is subpar at both. Oh my god, this is horrible. What the hell? It must be in some like low power mode right now because the battery's flat. It is just disaster city here, isn't it? I need you to work. Knock this off. I want to customize the icons in here. I guess I can't do that. Okay. Fingers crossed nothing explodes. Oh yeah, that's getting that whole area is getting roasty. Well, that was a colossal waste of time. Okay. Let's just start pulling stuff off that area until the short goes away. We'll start with the easier, larger components, and then we'll work our way down to the smaller and more complicated ones. Since it seems that the whole cluster there is, for some reason, shorted to ground. And you can see damage to the amp chip there. So, which one first? Let's start with this one. I'm actually going to grab a few components off at once since this takes a long time to heat up. There we go. I think that's a reasonable start. Ah, and the short is still there. Balls. Ah, it's still there. Oh, I don't like this. Oh. I think our short might be gone. I might be being big dumb here and, Oh. Oh. What the... Okay. I want to figure this out. I do not want to give up on it. Is it just the chip? Is it the amp chip that's just donezo? I just have a hard time believing the amp chip coincidentally blew up on us when we put it together without anything else going wrong. There's something that we had to have done, or something that had to have killed it. Well, let's go ahead and pull the amp chip off and see if the short goes away. That's the last part that I was really trying to avoid pulling off here, but... Oh, great. It's a BGA chip. That'll be fun to reinstall. Huh? I think that was our issue, though. I believe that was it. And boy, do we have plenty of those. So let's harvest one. See if we do this. This is going to be fun. I want to pick a good board for this. Think it'll power on without all of that? You think we should try that first? I'm willing to try that first. Bollocks. Alright, fingers crossed. Alright, so it's powering on again. I just really did an amp chip for the tweeter really just spontaneously die on us. I've never seen one of those tweeter chips fail before, let alone work on the bench for us and then fail as soon as we put it together. If I'm not mistaken, I heard a loud pop come from the inside of it when we plugged it in after we put it back together. I wonder if the tweeter is dead in there. No, because it would have blown up when we tested it before we even took it apart. I am so confused. Okay. First, we shall harvest this part that we need, and then we will rebuild it. We'll start with the most difficult part first. She's going. She's letting you guys know. She said, I'm hungry. Feed me now. That's not what I wanted. Oh my god. That just blew into the nth dimension, as Northridge would say. Okay, still no short. So I think we're good to start putting this thing back together. Thank goodness. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's gonna work. But we no longer have a short. So if it powers on without blowing up again, I will be happy. Okay, fingers crossed. Let's hope all that wasn't for nothing. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna table this repair for later and just grab another amplifier and swap it in. Because we have spent way too much time on this one. Way too much time. First, of course, our bricked logic board again, just to make sure nothing blows up. Okay, nothing's blowing up. Now we will try our logic board. Make sure it still has sound. I'm going to try with their logic board really quick too, because why not? It's given us enough problems today. I don't want to take this apart again. Interesting. I just pulled some stray pins out of the display. I'm gonna put a different display in there. That's kind of concerning. Okay, I just want to see that this powers on briefly with their logic board without blowing up, and then we will put this back together finally. Yep, powers on. Okay, let's put this back together. And hopefully, this one will be done. We learned something about the cap. We learned something, I guess, out of that blown tweeter. I've never seen that before, but now we have. We can say we've seen it. I want to go ahead and just do a quick sanity check on the tweeters here. I guess they're all going to show 7 ohms. 7, 5, 5, 5, 5. Yeah, they're all 5 to 7, but that variance could just be my meter too. Okay. Here we go. It was the actual amp chip itself for the tweeter. I'm trying it like this before I put the whole damn thing back together. Because I do not want to do that again. I want to move on. Okay, it's powering on still. I am baffled. I am intrigued. I am at a loss for words. Yeah, or as Will Smith said it in the movie I, Robot. And there goes the stream. Fuck it. Whatever. I'm just gonna fix this and stop talking. Okay, the network is back. Whatever. As the famous actor Will Smith said in the movie I, Robot, I'm like a malfunction magnet. Hey Justin, thanks for dropping by and watching this whole time. Goodness. But I never give up on a good challenge, and I am happy to take it on. You get some good rest, and after the stream tonight, you'll get an email from me with updates. I'm just waiting for the network to come back. The usual. It's just been timing out. Hell yeah, productivity. Get that shit list done. Ho ho ho! Okay. Looking good.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. For more info, check the Home app. I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. For more info, check the...
And... all right. Very nice. We will, I'm going to reset this and do a little more testing just to be sure that it's good and that tweeter doesn't blow up again on us. Huh. Here's number 2. Finally, let's move on. We've got some pretty straightforward no power repairs coming up. Fuck this network. Getting sick of this. Hold on. Microsoft, how hard is it to build a functioning start menu? You're busting my balls here. Alright, well, fuck it. Fuck Comcast, fuck the stream. We're just gonna fix the rest of this shit, and, that'll be that. Interesting that the audio's been solid the whole time. I guess that's better than it not. It's not as jarring of an experience. But that means you can hear me complaining about it the whole time. Okay, hopefully an easier one for us here. We've got 0 watts of power draw. I didn't see any spike or any power being pulled whatsoever, so I'm going to go ahead and hazard a guess that we've got a blown fuse in the power supply this time. Ooh. Today is just the day for the interesting ones, isn't it? What's up, Slim Chicken? Oh, alright. Here's that power supply. Based on the power draw that we saw, this is probably what's going on. Let's check our fuse. It should have continuity if it's good. And if it's blown open, then it won't beep at us. And look at that. If we take a known good power supply, that's a good fuse. And that's a blown fuse. So that's that little guy down there. Instead of cutting the plastic up and cutting all the glue out and trying to replace it, I'm going to stick that in the do it later pile, and we're going to just replace it with another power supply. Before we put this back together, however, that pesky little diode that loves to fail and also cause the most common no power issue, it's got a date code of 1726K, so it's outside of that date range we normally see fail, but we replace it every time in every HomePod regardless of what it comes in for, so we are going to do just that right here and now. Blah, 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 blah. $15 for... Oh man, where are you finding these? Like, freaking Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace? $150, ouch. Ah, Gumtree, yeah. Good shit. I'm kind of more surprised that you've had so many broken ones that people have been selling over there. But I guess word's been getting out and more people have been realizing that these aren't just pure trash. They can be repaired, and they are worth something. Well, we know everything works on this, so let's go ahead and just pop this on back together. And we've got power.
I'm having trouble connecting to the...
Very nice. Kashmiri's pod is fixed. Now we move to Cherian, who I believe also has no power. Yes. Voila! One HomePod. Tim, wasted time. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Who's wasting time? We're getting shit fixed. Alright, so another one with no power confirmed, and we've got the expected 6 watts of power draw from the wall for the common shorted diode failure. Let's crack this open, get to that amp, do a little diagnosis, and see what's going on. Yeah, that's no big deal. They can take some time sometimes. Hey, when we first started doing these, it took us on average like at least an hour per HomePod. And now we've gotten that average down to around 30 to 45 minutes with a speed record of around 22 minutes. So, the once in a while 2-hour repair does not bother me. It's a nice little break from the mold. I feel horrible for my wife because she's been up all day watching the kids. She got a few hours of sleep, but I did not anticipate these repairs taking this long tonight. I was out all day, and then I get home and immediately start fixing HomePods. Poor baby. That's a hungry baby. Ow. Sucker bit me. Woofer check. Looks good, feels good, smells good. Dead diode. $1,748K. Who's surprised? Brrr. it's got power. Give me the good stuff.
I'm having trouble connecting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We are on a roll. Jim, you're on a roll. Speaking of Jim, last but not least is Jeff's, which Jeff sent their amp in recently, just the amplifier board, for no power. And when we fixed it, we confirmed it was fixed on the bench here, and we sent the amp board back. And when he got it back, he noticed some additional damage to the rest of the HomePod. So he actually just stopped by earlier today and dropped off all of the parts. So we're just going to go ahead and replace anything that's broken, get this thing back together in one piece, and work it again for him. Here we've got some pieces. And here we've got some more pieces. And of course, just a few more pieces. Okay, first I want to take a look at the shell, because if I recall correctly, the logic cable was torn. And the top half looks fine, but down under there, right there, you see it? That is torn, and that is no bueno. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take their amp out. We've already fixed the amp, so we don't need to do anything to that. We're going to take the amp out and put it into another shell, along with their mesh here. So let's get the mesh off first. Actually, let's do the mesh last. Let's get the amp out first and start moving this into another shell. Here's another shell. So let's yoink that. And we don't want to accidentally pick this off the shelf again and reuse it. So I'm going to go ahead and just take this cable out now. There we go. Don't do that. Do not do that. Grumpy. Welcome to the stream, Derek. Not quite a marathon fix. Well, yeah, the first one took 2 hours, so depending on how you define marathon fix, yeah, it was, we 100% went through a marathon there earlier. 2 hours just for that first one there. That was the big delay there. Quite a handful of mysterious issues. Some we learned from, some we're still scratching our head about. And then after that, we got a no power one that ended up being the power supply. So it's been interesting repairs today too. Okay, reconnecting the ribbon cable down below. Let's find their power supply. Oh, get back here. Oh no, this one's got a bad cable too. Ah. Why was this in my good parts pile? Why? Okay. We have to unscrew all of this. That's okay. Today's theme for the repair stream is put it together, then take it apart again. Okay. Let's do the same thing to this one so we don't do that same thing again in the future. Goodbye. All right. Let's try that again. This one looks good. Let's double check it actually has everything in one piece. Ribbon cable looks good. Tweeters all look good. They're not cracked. The retainer ring is a little loose. There we go. But everything else looking good. So let's try that again. Oh, uh-oh. Bit of a boo-boo on the display there. It should still work. Okay. While I have you here, did you... Oh, the stupid network. Stupid network. Come on, come back. Please give me my stream. Stop saying 0 kilobytes a second. Stop saying 0 kilobytes a second, please. Okay. As I was saying, while I have you here, did you want to pay for a replacement display if yours works? It's only like $10. Otherwise, we will just check and make sure that yours works just fine. The ambient light sensor is broken off, so when the display is on, it will be at full brightness. But aside from that, it'll work just fine like this. Jeff says replace it, so we will replace it. Grumpy. Yes. Break out the T5! No, you stay there. What is that in the center on the bottom? That is the secret service port. It resides not under the mesh, but like you saw here, it's actually just under the rubber foot here. That is presumably what they use from the factory to load the software on them. Provided my network allowed you to hear all that. Hope that answers your question. And your next question may be, are you able to restore the software through that? Yes and no. You can connect a standard USB cable to this and plug it into your computer. It'll show up. iTunes gives you a restore button, but Apple on the server side blocks access to the OS that actually is necessary to restore it. So, thank you, Apple. In there that nobody can use. Grumble, grumble. Alright, you dirty little hair, get out of there. Yeah, what I want to know about this mesh is how does hair get through it into people's speakers? How does that happen? The dust, I get it. It's dust particles smaller than this, but the hair, that's a length of hair. That's a large solid object passing through this. That's like on. I don't see anything gross in people's HomePods ever, but like that is the thing that I do see often is like hair inside of them. Switch back to our T6. I almost forgot there. Alright, fresh display with ambient light sensor. Nice, man. I think you had... Yeah, you didn't lose all but one screw. It looks like you only lost one of the display screws, which might even be still in one of the bags. So, good job. He's still in one of the bags. So, good job. But I've got plenty of screws. This isn't even my stash. This is just the screws that I throw into the pile when I take HomePods apart for parts. And I'm too lazy to organize them. Okay. The final touches. Well. Also, if this was your first time taking apart a HomePod, you did a damn good job getting this top plastic off. Very, very little, if any, scratches on there. And I still sometimes do worse than this. So, good job. Most often when people try it their first time, they email me letting me know, hey, I fixed it, but I cracked the top. You got any spares, bro? I'm sorry, I don't. As you can imagine, they are one of the most common parts to break, so they are far and few in good condition. But enough talking. Do we have power? Yes, we do.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. For more info. I'm having trouble.
Don't raise your voice at me. All right. Hell of a stream, folks. It's 10 o'clock. We've been streaming for 3.5 hours. Well, that's not too bad. 4 HomePods. 3.5, technically. Oh, well. If any of you guys have any questions about any of the repairs that we've done here today, feel free to leave a comment down below. Also, check out the website, nixfix.com, where I've got my contact info if you want to send your whole HomePod or you get stuck along the way and want to send a specific part in to be repaired here on the channel. Or